Okay, my contact at GearBest asked me if I would like to test and review some household items. So I picked these 3 vegetable peelers, and I think we're just going to test and look at these 3 different vegetable peelers today. So let's start with this one. So this one, it looks like a fairly conventional Y-shaped peeler, except it has a blade that does peeling. It's got a very slightly serrated blade there, but it also has this one here, which does fine slices, I suppose, little fine sort of julienne type slices. Little happy face on the end there, isn't that nice? Okay, the next one is this Rotary multi-peeler. So again, this is it's got a twin blade. It's got a smooth blade and a slightly serrated blade, but this one has a bit of a trick to it in that you can supposedly rotate this part of the blade. I can't see how. You can supposedly rotate this part, there we go, and then you can use it as a straight peeler or a Y-type peeler. That to me seems like a solution in search of a problem, but anyway, we'll give it a go in both modes and see what it's like. And the third one is perhaps the most unusual, because this one doesn't have any blades. So this one here just has these kind of textured hard plastic nodules on it, little round ones and square ones, and it peels by abrading the peel off of the vegetables. So that could be interesting actually. That one's got a bit of a safety aspect to it in that you can't cut yourself with this. You could probably graze yourself on it, but you can't cut yourself, whereas both of these two have got actually very sharp blades. So we're going to test each of these peelers with potatoes and carrots. Let's start with this one here. So we'll try it on a carrot. Now, I'm not a massive fan of these type of peelers anyway, but let's see how we get on. So in Y mode, well, that seems pretty good and competent. That's with the straight blade, and we'll try it with the slightly serrated blade. I'm not really sure. Oh, it gives it a kind of textured finish on the thing. I don't know if there's any benefit to that. Maybe that would soak up a little bit more flavour. Let's turn it round and try it. It's a little bit stiff there actually, and I'm a bit concerned that people would try and turn it by grabbing the blades, and that could be a bad thing. But anyway, let's try it in the straight configuration. So then it can be used like this. Okay, or like this, if that's your preference of configuration. So I don't know, seems fairly sharp and competent. I think it's probably just a little bit awkward though. Anyway, so that's that one. Let's try it with potatoes. So in the Y-type configuration, I think this, in the straight configuration, there's probably just a little bit too much space between the handle and the blade, and so as you're pushing, it does tend to rotate a little bit, but it works. And then in the Y configuration, we'll try it on the potato, and that's, I always feel like I'm going to catch my hand when I use these Y-shaped peelers. But there we go, that works that way. And that also works that way. So it's okay. It's okay. It does the job. And I think probably any awkwardness there is mostly to do with my unfamiliarity with Y-shaped peelers. So that's that one. So next up, let's try this one. Now this is the dual one. This has got a peeler on one side and a julienne type cutter on the other side. So let's try the peeler first. So peeler takes, oh, that's very fine peelings. That's actually really good. That's taking very, very fine peelings off that carrot. That's nice. And that's got a slight serration on the blade, so it leaves these striations on the carrot, which I don't know what the purpose of that is, but never mind. Okay, and so on the other side, it's got this julienne cutter. So let's have a look and see what that actually does. So that cuts little strands of carrot. Now that to me seems quite useful, because these little pieces here They're perfect for stir fries, or actually you can use that you can very lightly cook that and use it in place of pasta. So there we go. The problem with any of these cutters is actually going to be when you get down to less than half a carrot, it starts to get a bit tricky to get the last bit off. But actually we seem to be doing pretty well there, I'd say. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that one. That little strip cutter is a good feature. And the other side is a very nice fine peeler. So now, we've got to try that on potatoes, haven't we? So, okay, so let's try that on a potato now. So the peeler side only, so we'll just do, that's making a very nice, neat job of peeling those potatoes. Although, as I say, I'm not brilliantly familiar with these Y-shaped peelers. It's not a preference if I'm doing just ordinary peeling of mine to use those type of peelers, but so I'm probably doing this all wrong, and I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments. But there we go. So that's that. And let's see what happens with the when we use the julienne cutter on potatoes. So we get very, very fine little shreds of potato like that. Now that could be quite good as well, because you could put that on top of a shepherd's pie, or you could you could deep fry those and they would come up as crispy, tiny little chips. So good, that's good. Okay, so now the third one. Now this is the very unconventional peeler. So I think we'll try this first on the carrot, because I'm just not sure how well it's going to cope with a carrot. I think you're meant to hold it like this. So let's have a go. So let's see what... Okay, well it's surprisingly effective. It's obviously just scrubbing the outside off, and it's leaving the carrot quite rough. But if that was going into a dish where there are flavors to be absorbed, I think that could be a benefit. So there we go. It's yeah, that's worked okay on a carrot. We'll try it again with the smaller side. We've got a piece of carrot I haven't peeled here. Okay, the smaller side doesn't seem to do as much on carrots. Okay, now on potatoes then. So this, I think, is probably what this is really designed for. Okay, not tremendously effective, I would say, at removing. It's getting clogged up here, so not tremendously effective. I mean, it's a novel idea, but what's happened there? I think I probably have to rinse that off now. Let's just go and give that a quick rinse, so we're giving it a fair test. Okay, now the debris that was caught on there rinsed off ever so easily, so let's have a look. Yeah, and I don't know if that little bit there is a handle, or if that's intended for carving out the eyes in potatoes. I'm not really sure. It's probably just a little hanger or something like that, I think. But there we go. I would say that's not tremendously effective. I think you probably need a bowl of water to be able to use that properly. And even then, it's actually quite hard work. However, it is very safe, so you could give that to children and they wouldn't be able to cut themselves with it. So one more little feature of this one, which we forgot to mention, is it does have an eye remover in the end there. So for digging out the eyes in potatoes, that's actually quite effective. Okay, so in ascending order of how well I like these devices. So this one, what a novel idea, but I didn't find that particularly effective. So interesting concept, but didn't really work very well for me. This one, nice and sharp, it does the job quite well. And I think if you want to switch between a Y-shaped and a straight peeler, I don't know, why wouldn't you just buy one of each? It seems to me like a solution in search of a problem. And this bit here, I think, is going to jam up before very long and become unworkable. This one, this I think is the best of the bunch. So this one produces very, very fine peeling on the carrots and potatoes. It takes off just the thinnest layer, which is probably what you want. And the julienne And the julienne cutter there, very, very effective, and produces these lovely little shreds of sliced vegetable. So there are links to all three of these devices in the description below. Those are affiliate links, so if you click and buy that way, I do make a small commission. If you object to that, then feel free to Google these up and visit and buy them without following my links. I'll put a category link in the description too, so you can have a look at the general category of kitchenware over there on GearBest. I also would be very interested in your comments on these devices. So have you used any of these, or have you used something that's better than these? Let me know in the comments, I'm really interested to hear. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. In case you're wondering whether I wasted the food that I used in demonstrating these tools, please don't worry, this is my lunch.